And we are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 85, where we get our weekly dose of hot takes, discuss recent K-pop news and events, and give you the state of the nation. Boom! So hot takes with Harold. So Cousin Harold's going to come on and give his weekly hot take, and the crew will react and discuss the hot take. Lego.
All right. So Harold's coming. I feel like
Good to see him.
Yeah, you know, I hope Harold misses us. Oh, okay.
Hello.
It's nice to see Anita back.
Hi.
The weekly hot take is true main vocalists are not necessary anymore in K-pop. Bye.
Bye.
Honestly,
Harold.
Hi.
real talk though, be
Okay.
nicer if Warren was the one who was missing.
Oh boy,
Oh.
boy, he's always so nice to you. This is fucking rude.
All right, the weekly hot take is true main vocalists are not necessary anymore in K-pop. That could be interpreted as a spicy take. Like, let's just say that.
I feel very definitive on my answer to this.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I thought of it too. Right. I
Right.
struggled with this one. I asked some people on Discord too what they thought about this because I didn't know where I wanted to stay here.
Yeah.
But the first thing I want to say is I do think that the position of main vocalist has been devalued a little in K-pop, where it's not as necessary as it once was. That's what I'll say. Okay, I initially want to just say I don't agree with this. I think main vocalists like have their place. That's my initial feelings, right?
Okay.
I was thinking like I'm just gonna come on here and straight just say it's wrong, right? I don't agree with the take. I thought about it a lot, and what a lot of people were telling me is that, and I kind of agree with them. It seems like K-pop is becoming like more and more positionless, meaning that the like true like main vocal as a role, like, you know, we got rapper, sub vocal, lead vocal, all these weird stupid things that honestly don't make a lot of sense, right?
Hi, I'm the lead vocal, the sub rapper, and the main dancer.
You're the sub visual. What does that mean if you're sub visual? I don't know, but I kind of agree with that stance that main vocalists might not be necessary because the role of main vocal might not really be a thing anymore. That's so I could see it. I could spin it like that. I think, all right, number one, we're talking about K-pop here. It's a musical genre. Who produces like the most difficult musical things? Generally the main vocalist, right? That's my reasoning as to why I wanted to say no, because I think main vocalists are very important. They sing generally the most difficult parts of the songs because of the range that you need to hit. Now, do I think that groups need to have a true main vocalist to be successful in K-pop in 2020? No. I think I'm not going to name specific examples, but I think there are groups that you could point to that have had good amounts of success that don't have what would be considered like a true power main vocal. Right. I think that's pretty fair. So are they 100% necessary? Will you be like, are your chances of succeeding 0 if you don't have a main vocalist? I don't agree with that, to be honest. I think they're more like a luxury now to have a true main vocalist.
Anita, I feel like you disagree.
Yeah, you can go
Well,
first. Anita.
see, I was more on the opinion that Doug had in the beginning, right? Before he kind of delved into the idea of positioning in groups, right?
Right.
Because I do agree with that I don't think it's that prevalent anymore or as emphasized as it used to be. But I don't know, something about it. I guess I'm reading into not even like the wording now. I'm just saying what it implies by main vocalist, like a very distinguishable singer, right, from the group. I guess for me, I've always interpreted having this person or this type of singer in the group as a sign of, like I said, like something that makes you distinguishable as far as sound. So like for SNSD, Taeyeon, like when I think of SNSD and I think of her, like I feel like the success that SNSD had and the sound that they had for a long time relied a lot on that main vocalist ability. Like not necessarily the position, right? But like having someone that has that ability to me seems like very important.
Can I hint at something there? SM is like the one company that consistently always has a power vocal in their groups.
True. I would agree.
They're
Yes.
I don't there might be other companies that do it, but they always have someone who's like, this is a ridiculous level vocal
They push
talent.
for it. They push for
always
it for
have it.
sure. Yeah.
Who is Red Velvet's power vocal?
Wendy, are you crazy?
Wendy.
Okay. Oh, I mean, I was leaning on the fact that they're all like power vocals. I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I don't mean power, like they have to be the most powerful singer. I'm saying like someone in the group that's voice is ridiculous. Like you're
Okay.
like, this person is crazy.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like I mentioned, like to be able to have like someone that's distinguishable by name, like, oh, this person can do like both solo stuff later on in the future, but as a group, like they're recognized as that person that gets that one high note during the song, like the person that is pushed right as far as promotions as being very vocally capable. I don't know. I think currently, yes, it's not as emphasized, but I think it's very good to have it because it gives you this something that people can remember, if that makes sense. That's how I view it. And I don't know if I think it should be kind of necessary for K-pop because as we mentioned, like that's kind of the goal, right? In the industry, like to get as many people to remember you and to find you distinguishable among all these groups. And I do feel like vocalists have their place in doing that, in my opinion.
Okay.
What do you think, Warren?
I'm kind of in between you guys. I guess that's a good thing.
Oh,
You know. It's been a while since I've had an intermediate opinion.
yes.
Here let's talk about this. K-pop is a product. So I'm gonna take a product design development kind of approach to this. What problem does having a true main vocalist solve? From based on what Anita said, based on what you said, it solves the problem of distinguishing a group from other groups. Now my thought there is that that's definitely a very valid problem and a very valid solution. But at the same time, there's other solutions.
Yeah, I
And-
agree with that.
Not saying I'm gonna give an example, and I hope the comments are okay with this. One is Twice, and
Yep, that's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Honestly,
someone
it
has to
really
mention
is.
it. Let's be real. I'm gonna say it again. I am a churchgoer, the Church of Three J's, Juri, Gio, and Junghyun. Gio is, honest to God, my favorite member of Twice, but I would never say that she is the best talented singer on the universe. She's a talented singer, but she is nowhere near the level of like talent of power vocals or main vocalists of groups that have existed before. That's honest to God the truth. I'm sorry.
I honestly, I think that's very fair. That is a completely fair take, in my
Thank
opinion.
That being said, I still think Twice is not only marketable, they're very appealing. They know their pros and cons very well. And then they produce that. They max everything out, everything else out, and they make themselves very distinguishable by what? Through their color, through their like, 매력, through their like production. So even without relying on this unique power, talented vocal, they are still able to get across a nice experience with the product, and that works. And kind of going off of that, let's talk about K-pop in general, right? K-pop in itself. When I listen to K-pop, I'm listening because I want something fun. I want to have a nice experience for 3 minutes, 9 minutes if it's 3 songs, whatever. Something enjoyable, nothing too heavy. If I am blown away by their amount of talent, that's a pleasant experience.
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm not going into K-pop because I want to hear the best singers in the entire industry.
That's an interesting way to look at it, sir.
Yeah.
I did not think of that.
When I want to hear really unique, talented singers, I honest to God don't listen to K-pop. I listen to the indie scene, I listen to the ballad scene, I listen to the R&B scene. Like my favorite vocalist is Sonwoo. She is very different from a lot of K-pop singers.
Yeah.
Not simply because of her musical style, but like her tone and like and many different things. So kind of in that aspect, in the way the role that K-pop plays in the Korean popular music industry, K-pop isn't really something that really, really needs true main vocalists. That being said, it is a lot easier to succeed as a group if you have a very nice main vocalist. It's a very honest to God. It's a very nice, easy way. I
guess I kind of want to give a counter argument though, because when you mentioned Twice, and you mentioned Tihyo, I find like, of course, you could always find a comparison among like just music, right? Like I think it would be hard to say this particular person is the best, right? But I think the comparison comes from within the group, because this positioning, right, is from within the group. So if the vocalists are given this label as vocalists from within the group, because they're seen as the people that sing the best or have the best ability from the group, right? So when I think of Twice, like I guess I do find that Jihyo is the main vocal, and I feel like the fact that she is that person kind of gives a color to the group, if that makes sense.
I definitely agree with that point. I do think Chio is the most appropriate person for the role of a main vocalist in Twice, and hence she has the role of a main vocalist, followed by Nayeon, who's the lead vocalist, and Taeyeon, who's the other lead vocalist. See how much I like Twice? I'm just,
okay, well, one of our mods, Jakob, he's from Denmark. Shout out to Jakob, the Viking Lord himself. He mentioned that he's fine if groups just distinguished if you're a dancer, a rapper, or a vocalist. He didn't say he needed the main sub, any of that stuff, and I thought that was a very interesting point.
Here's what I'll say, and I don't know if everyone is gonna pick up on this analogy, but there's a very popular video game called League of Legends. And it's a game played in teams of 5 people. Yeah. And there are very distinct roles. There is a top, there's a mid, there's a support, there's a bottom, and then there's like a ganker. There are these roles. Jungler. Sorry, I don't play League. I only know about it. That being said, I've seen a couple of games, and it is very clear that each like lane, each role, each person has a very distinct role. But when that person is struggling, there are people who are willing to help, Yeah. It's like, let's say I'm struggling on the top line, I might be like, Doug, help me. You're in the mid, like.
We'll be like, help yourself, fam. I'm killing this kid.
Right. Ideally, where we're not like hating each other because, obviously a game of League, people hate each other. But if it's not like that, we might be willing to help. That being said, I do understand why there is a need for like the sub rapper, who needs to have like 2 bars in like 5, like whatever. I get it, but like I don't think it's like super necessary.
Okay, well here's one point I want to make. Let's get back to the take, right? True main vocalists are not necessary anymore in K-pop. I think one of the things we failed to mention is that it is so hard to find extremely talented singers. Like I'm talking S+ level singers, because my personal opinion. So I did dance 15 years, right? I am not the most naturally coordinated person in the world, right? But I would like to say that I have the mental capacity to memorize what's going on, right? And through hard work and through repetition, I'm able to do it. The point I'm trying to get to is that I think that while you can teach someone to be an average dancer, right? Maybe even after 10 years, you could teach them to be a very good dancer. Getting someone to be a true power main vocal, a lot of it comes down to like how you were born and what talents you were given.
Yeah.
And I think that it is like I think Korea is one of those countries where like everyone sings, right? Like even if you suck, you're probably not that bad, right? A lot of people can sing in Korea. And even though there are so many young people who want to do K-pop and stuff, there are very few people who you would consider like god tier main vocalists, right? Right. I think it comes down to the fact that K-pop has now gone so formulaic that you don't need to have the person who's like groundbreakingly good at singing anymore to make a successful group. That's, I think, the overall point that I'm just trying to make here. Is that it's not 100% necessary anymore.
If I can add one more thing, it was a very common stereotype of K-pop and idol groups a couple decades ago, actually only a decade ago, that like they're not good singers. That was a very common stereotype. People would be like, idols, I like them, they're fun people, they're not good singers, you know, whatever. That was the stereotype. That stereotype I think has hence been broken a little bit.
The base level is now so high.
Right. That being said, the stereotype has been broken. It's been reversed. There's a lot of people that, well, the people who do need to recognize that they are actually talented do recognize it. And I think with that being said, I don't think it's very necessary to like, you know, to make it a thing to like bewilder me with the level of, you know, vocal capabilities in their next.
There's so much more on the plate.
Right. There, you know, you can show me a dance.
But you would never reject having a great main vocal. That's the thing, right? if you have it, you're like, oh, thank Lord we got this kid. But at the same time, if we let's say like someone who's the best vocalist ever ranks like a 10, right? And let's say your average like Joe off the street could be like a 5, right? If we have someone in our group who's like an 8.5, I'm like, all right, we can still do this. We can still do this, right?
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, it comes down to how you're viewing this take, right? It's like, are they necessary? Well, if you look at the facts, there's some groups who do make it without having someone who is a true main vocal, right? I think that's kind of objective. But at the end of the day, do they have their role in K-pop still? Of course.
Yeah.
Like it is a making music, and they are singing the most difficult notes, right?
Yeah. It's like the main vocalist is like the fried chicken.
God, are you missing fried chicken?
Are you hungry?
Yeah, I want fried chicken. I haven't had fried chicken in a while. You know, it's like if you have fried chicken, you're not gonna reject it. No. If you have a nice main vocalist, you're not gonna reject it.
But if you have other good foods, you're like, I could deal with this.
Yeah,
right?
you know, if I had sushi right next to it, I'm like, all right, bet I can have sushi and fried chicken now. But like,
yeah, but I kind of agree though. The wording of this to say they're not necessary, that's a little bit harsh, right? Like that's like devaluing the position. I do think though that as K-pop has gone on, we saw the emergence of really crazy main vocalists, and now because the production value is so high on everything else, the dancing's gone crazy. Just the song production's gotten better. It has devalued the role a little, but that's not to say it's diminished it. Boom. Okay.
Boom.
News and events from last week. Honestly, there's not a crazy amount of news going on, right? Like, I like we used to set a bar for what we're gonna cover as the main news topics really, really high. It's lowered a little bit, but like at least we're still covering things. I'm just gonna be straight up with everyone, but the first one, crazy collabs and features set for May. I know, we were scraping the barrel here, guys. But
oh, man.
Boltbaigan 4 announced, well, now it's her comeback, and is set to collab with EXO's Baekhyun for a pre-release track. The upcoming comeback will mark Boltbaigan 4's first comeback following Woo Ji-yoon's departure, leaving An Ji-young as the sole member. Ahead of the album's full release on May 13th, a pre-release single titled Butterfly and Cat will feature EXO's Baekhyun and will drop on May 7th. Last week, it was also announced that BTS's Suga produced and will feature on IU's new single to drop on May 6th. And additionally, there have been announcements of May collab tracks featuring Chungha and Zion T on one track and Ong Sung-woo and Baek Ji-young on a second track.
Wow, lots of good collabs coming out. Wow.
First thing, let's talk about the features, right?
Right.
Like, Boltbaigan 4 and Baekhyun versus BTS's Suga and IU. Like... That's crazy, right?
And Suga and IU. That's like...
Those songs are released one day after each other, 6th and the 7th.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So they're going to be directly compared by everyone.
Man, I mean, okay. Here's the thing. I feel like Boltbaigan 4 and Baekhyun... I don't know, it's still out of left field, I'll give you that. But like, kind of like going back to Baekhyun's single from mini album from last year, I can kind of imagine them doing stuff together, you know?
Yeah, when I think of a Baekhyun collab, I think of the Suzy Baekhyun song.
Oh, there was the Christmas
Dream.
thing.
The Dream song. Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing is, I think just based on the power of the people involved, I think the IU single is going to do ridiculous numbers, right?
Right.
IU
and Suga.
IU and Suga, like, you got a BTS guy, you got IU, who's like the premier solo artist right now, I would say, for females.
Yeah.
It's going to be bananas. But Boltbaigan 4 is a charting monster too. Baekhyun did crazy with UN Village last year. I'm just excited. You know who's benefiting from this? The fans, right?
Of course.
And now we talk about the May collab tracks. Chungha Zion T, that's cool, right? Like,
Yes.
and you gotta think Ong and Baekjeong. Baekjeong's last collab track, like the most notable one, was her with Taeyeon. Back in the day, Candy, right?
Nigga, your candy.
Yeah, so I hope they do something like that. It'd be crazy.
La la.
But you know, a lot of big players, right? Like,
Yeah.
Here's what I'm particularly impressed by, right? Chungha. Let's talk about that real quick. Like, she has racked up so many collaborations in the past like half a year or so.
Rich
It's like
Brian, Paul Kim, right?
Chungmo, like
Yeah,
like
Zion T, like she's racking it up.
Mommy Son and like Zion T, like what? Why are you laughing
It's-
at Mommy Son?
No, nothing.
Mommy Son's
Yeah,
a
man,
very
you-
valid rapper. I don't know what you're laughing at.
But yeah, Chungha's killing it. I think the most like if Suga's producing this, you know, like Iowan's gonna be good. You would assume that the Butbaigan 4-1, you know, it's gonna be great too. Chungha's INT, you know, the Ong and Baekjeong one is the biggest mystery to me. I have because I don't think Ong is like a straight ballad singer, right? Because Baekjeong is known for being a ballad queen, but she does do some like upbeat stuff once in a while. Like that's how she initially made her mark. So we'll have to see what she does, because it's like
It's gonna be Candy in My Ear Part 2.
I really hope it is.
Interesting.
It might go viral if it does, right? If it is.
Yo,
so.
man, that song would have been like world viral if it like dropped today. Like that is the weirdest video.
It's the weirdest collab. I was unexpected when I read. I'm like, oh, like. But let's move on to the second topic. This is interesting. So full lineup plus details of Mnet's Good Girl revealed. Mnet's new hip-hop reality show Good Girl revealed its full cast lineup. The cast will include, in no particular order, Girls' Generation's Hyoyeon, Ailey, Cheetah, Jamie, CLC's Yeon, Card's Jiu, is it Slick, Warren?
Sleek. Yeah.
Sleek, Queen Wasabi, and Lee Young-ji. The program plans to bring together female musicians from various genres to face off against Mnet for a chance to win big prize money. Each episode, the production team will challenge the Good Girl team to new missions involving guest opponents. Mnet's Good Girl is set to premiere on May 14th. What do we think about this lineup, guys?
So it sounds like Unpretty Rap Star season 4 is finally here.
But they're
in a
not
different name.
competing against
No.
each other this time.
No, remember Anita
The
wasn't
cringe
there,
line.
but
The cringe line.
the
from
cringe
last
line.
week.
There, it's they changed it up. Anita, do you know the tagline for the show?
No.
It's this is not a competition. We're a team.
What?
Oh my- yeah, you
okay.
remember that like classic Jessie line back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
But why?
Okay, let's look at this. The first names, Girls' Generation Hyoyeon. Interesting. So okay, if we think about her career, right? Girls' Generation,
Right.
she's the dancer girl. That was the
Yes.
main
Right.
attraction.
Right.
She's done some kind of rap. She's been doing some rap on the side. She has a DJ thing going on too, which
Right.
I've noticed. So that's like her thing. It's a big name. You put her on the show. Ailey on a hip hop show, like interesting.
I want to say I've heard Ailey rap somewhere.
It's
But-
good because Ailey's kind of gone a little cold. I think that's kind
Right.
of. She had the Room Shaker song last year that we didn't really like all that
No.
much. Cheetah, she kind of disappeared a little too after being very prominent for a while. So that's good for her. Jamie, you know, she's gonna kill it. CLC Yeon is like, they had this teaser of her like surrounded by unis, the older females there, and it was kind of awkward because she's kind of a shy person.
Oh man.
She's more like a monster on the stage, a kitten off the stage, right? Like, so and there's some big personalities in this room, right? Like Card's Jiu, you know, she's fierce. Can you tell me about
The other
pronounce
three?
it- Yeah, the other three.
So Sleek, she is from I forget the name of the company, but it's run by Jerry K. She I remember her album Colossal, very good album. She has a very straight rap style. She is very well known for her political takes. She is very left leaning, very feminist and radically feminist. And that's what she's known for. I think she's a good rapper. Interesting to see her on TV. Never thought I would ever see that to be a thing.
People were surprised at the next one the most.
I'd like to talk about her last, if that's okay.
Okay.
Lee Young-ji is the winner of High School Rapper 3. She is.
Oh,
Yeah.
This makes more sense now.
She has that very like oomph kind of rap tone. She's like, "Why the boy?" You know, she had
This could be good for her career. Being on
No,
this show.
yeah, I'm super excited for her career. I think she's the she's the person I'm most excited for, followed by Queen Wasabi. Now, if you hear the word Queen Wasabi, I don't
know what, like, weird thoughts. I don't know what's going on when I think of that name.
Yeah, it's not a classy name, you know. She's let's say she's like female version of Uneducated Kid.
Really?
Yeah, you know, she's
I googled her. There's some like weird images.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You wouldn't want to go into her Instagram when your mom's next to you. I'll say that.
God.
You know, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say I don't like her rap style. She's one of the most. She's very popping off right now. I'm not gonna denote that. She did stuff with Bill Stacks recently. She was on a radio show with The Quiet and Yumta. Good stuff. Super excited for her. She's really good buddies with Ash B. If you guys remember who that is, she is also infamous for showing showing us her butt. You know, whatever floats your boat. But you know, I'm super excited to see her on TV.
Has
and
she
see
been
her...
on like a major TV channel?
No, it's been like months when she's been. I've only heard of her like 2 months ago for the first time.
So overall, you would say very weird mix, right?
Yeah, like she would not mix in with the rappers here. She would not mix in with the idols here. Like, but like,
I'm
she has
just
good vibes.
I hope that like there's controversy. I don't know. I want to watch a train wreck. I'm just straight up. I want some drama.
The show's about you know, people teaming up, you know, facing off against Mnet.
We could have the English speaking contingency. Like, I know a lot of these kids speak English. Like we got idols on the show, and like a lot of times on these rap shows that's mixing, people are like, idols, right? Like, who knows?
If they've done that enough times, they need to stop doing that. Jesus.
I don't know. Look, the person I want to watch is CLC's Taeyeon. I'm a big fan of her. Y'all know that. She's on the sticker wall behind us. Is she? Yeah, she is.
I'm probably gonna watch the show.
Sticker, that one.
I'm probably gonna watch the show.
I'm excited. I mean, there's not much on TV right now, so
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna watch this. I think that covers that. Let us know who you're excited for, because it's a wide range of people. We got ballad singers. We got like hard rappers. We got idols. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Oh man, shout out to Nuna Bank. Oh man, good stuff.
All right, the final main topic is BTS's Map of the Soul World Tour rescheduled. So on April 28th, Big Hit released a statement to fans regarding the status of the tour. Previously, the tour's Seoul performances were canceled in February, followed by the postponement of the North American leg of the tour in March. Ticket sales for the European and Japanese dates were set to take place soon. So here's an excerpt from the statement. It was very long, but this is a portion of it. The decision has been made to completely reschedule the Map of the Soul tour, originally scheduled to begin in April of 2020. Big Hit Entertainment will completely reschedule the tour and provide a new tour schedule to our fans as soon as it becomes clear when the tour can begin. This may require considerable time as the COVID-19 situation continues to evolve. However, we will work to ensure that BTS and their fans will be able to meet each other as soon as they can. We will also create new ways for our artists to engage with their fans and respond to the new normal, in quotes, while we wait to resume activities halted by COVID-19. The decision to reschedule the tour was made with the health and safety of our artists and fans in foremost consideration. We ask for your generous understanding of the circumstances behind this decision regarding the Map of the Soul tour. We will endeavor to bring you the best concert experiences possible.
Wow. Responding to the new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to have to happen because, like, I mean, if you think about concerts, they're some of the most densely populated things that happen.
Right.
That in sporting events, right? Like, who knows? I think it's the right decision to delay the whole thing because at a certain point, like, keep canceling specific dates seemed like weird, right?
Right. I mean,
it's like we're going to cancel Korea. We're gonna push North America back. And it's just like too many different things going on, right?
Right. And my mind is kind of moving into a bigger picture right now, right? Because I remember Daniel in Harold Taven channel in the Discord server brought it up, and that's a Patreon only server, so I don't want to exclude anybody. But he was asking stuff like, what do you guys think about what's gonna change in the world of K-pop? Because whenever you turn on the news, people are saying stuff like things aren't gonna go back to the way it was before the virus, and that's totally understandable. What's relevant to us is like, how is that gonna change for K-pop? Like, is concerts gonna be the same way they have been?
Who knows?
Right, like at this point, when is BTS gonna reschedule their concert? Is it gonna be at the end of the year, next year?
I think number one, it's like having outdoor concerts in the fall doesn't seem like a great idea, right?
No, I don't
it's gonna be
think so
cold,
either.
especially for us in the northern part of North America. Shout out to the Canadians. It's gonna be freezing if y'all have a concert, right? But I mean, anything past like even October would suck, right? Like you're gonna have to put on 5 layers. It's right, and like stadiums are windy because it's like a bowl, right? So
Right.
and it's outdoor. It's gonna be cold. Maybe we'll just all snuggle for body heat like penguins. I don't know, but I think that my guess is, if I had to predict, I think they're gonna push it back till next year. I think they're gonna delay it a whole year.
Seems like the safest.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that means in terms of like Jin having to go to the military or anything like that. I have no clue what's going on there, but like, it is a consideration, right?
Do they have to go this year?
I couldn't tell you. I am not a big enough fan.
Well-
Overall though, I know people are disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to go to the G Idol concert this coming week. I'm pretty sure that was when it was scheduled back in the day.
I was supposed to go to the Changmo concert on the
Yeah.
week of the quarantine beginning, so
But I rather the concerts be delayed / canceled than me dying to be straight up.
If I can say something real quick, I feel like whatever BTS decides to do, whatever Big Hit decides to do with the world tour, I feel like that's gonna set like
A precedent?
the rules, right? Yeah.
I completely agree, because I don't know who else was having big tours, but this was one of the biggest worldwide tours that people were anticipating. Sold out everywhere,
right.
multiple dates, multiple continents.
Right.
We'll have to see what they do, because I just can't picture in the current climates shoving 80,000 people into a stadium, right? That just doesn't sit right to me.
Maybe they go full virtual,
Yeah,
a
but,
Zoom
people-
concert.
but it sucks. Like, you know what I mean? That's like, it's less of an experience. Let's be straight up.
Okay.
Let's now move on to quick takes though. The first one. Take this with a grain of salt, y'all. YG Entertainment confirms plans for Blackpink's June comeback. YG Entertainment stated Blackpink is scheduled to make a June comeback. Once the exact date has been finalized, we will officially share the news with fans first. Thank you. It will be the first comeback in over a year since Kill This Love was released back in April of last year. Don't believe this until you're listening and watching the music video. Like,
I've learned too much.
I will start to build hype once I see teasers, to be honest. Like, not even photos. I'm talking like video teasers. No, not even that.
No. When I see the video, I will be excited. Until then, I'm not gonna believe anything I see.
Okay, next one. Jiho confirms Twice's comeback date during the documentary Seize the Light press conference. So I will talk about Seize the Light down in State of the Nation, but she stated that we will be making a comeback with the new track More and More on June 1st. So that is, we already got the title, More and More. Next, EXO's Chen and his wife welcomed the birth of their daughter today. Well, not today. Back on May 29th. So shout out to Chen. Yo, he got daddy.
Congratulations.
Chen daddy. Okay. Oh, that's weird.
What the heck?
Next one. CLC, Kang Daniel, Hyogo, Lim Kim, and others will perform on May 6th at 88 Rising's Asia Rising Forever global live stream to benefit COVID-19, that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
There is reportedly going to be a dance-off between Kang Daniel and Rich Brian.
What?
Yo!
That's apparently a thing that's gonna happen. So Rich Brian, he used to be known by Rich. I'm not gonna say the second word because it's a little bit derogatory, but Rich something. Now he's Rich Brian. That Stick is probably his most famous song. He's an Indonesian rapper. He's funny. He's like a comedian too, but he's gonna be having a dance off versus Kang Daniel. I don't know if he could dance. Maybe Chungha taught him some when they collabed. We'll have to see.
I didn't know I wanted to see it, but now I do.
Yeah, next one. B2B, Seungjae, and EXO Suho will both be enlisting in the military within the next few weeks, so good luck to them. Pocket Doll Studio reveals H&D's Hangyeol and Dohyun will debut in their new boy group set to debut in the fall. This happened right before we went live, so I don't know how much of this is confirmed. It's going to apparently be a group of 8 because there was like an image I saw with like 8 question marks. 2 of them were Dohyun's face and Hangyeol's face, but good luck to them because my opinion was the duo thing felt a little bit awkward, so I think them being in a group makes a lot more sense. And they are a subsidiary of MBK, so they do have a decently sized company behind them. Lastly, Mnet's Road to Kingdom began on April 30th, but I will talk about it more in a couple minutes once we get to State of the Nation. All right, now we are at comebacks and releases. Warren, hit us with them.
Alrighty, May 6th on Wednesday, we have IU featuring Suga, like we said earlier. May 7th on Thursday, we have the debut of none other than Nari herself, formerly in 16 and Idol School. We also have the pre-release single from Bolbagan Sachungi featuring Baekhyun of EXO. May 8th on Friday, we have 17's The 8. Is that a unit?
No, that's a guy.
That's a guy? Oh,
it's a guy.
All right. Well, The 8 from 17 is doing its thing. May 11th on Monday, we have Day 6 coming back, as well as Newest. In other confirmed comeback news, on May 12th, as you mentioned earlier, we have Ong Sung-woo and Baek Ji-young. May 13th, we have 볼빨간 사춘기 with their full release. May 13th, we have Bandit and UNVS on May 15th. Monster X will be coming back on May 26th. This is the new date that is due to Shonu's back injury. Kong Min-ji will be coming back in May. Yubin is also confirmed for May. Twice is confirmed for June 1st. And then 6 is confirmed for June. CIX.
All right, now we're at State of the Nation. I got 4 things. The first one, which is quick. I mentioned it like once I got back from my trip from Korea that I was looking for a specific album. I got the Stella Jang album.
Oh, look at you, man.
They reprinted it when she released her latest album because it says 2020 on the back of this, so I got it. So there's no bounty. I ain't paying anyone $150 for this album anymore. Next, Youth With You, the Chinese produce-esque survival show. They got down to 35 kids now. Bro,
wow.
This show is more enjoyable than any season of Produce Korea I've watched.
Wow.
Why would you say that?
I'm telling you, it's so good.
Wait, why is it good?
The level of talent is better than any of the seasons I've seen.
Is that a good thing, though?
Yes, the kids are ridiculously good on this show.
No, but my favorite moment in Produce 48 was like the Boombaya group.
All right, well, there's equivalents, but like the kids are so good. I'm gonna list off my top 5 kids. If you're not watching the show, it means nothing to you. If you're watching to it, these are my top 5 kids. Number 1, Snow Kong Shu-er. I think her Chinese name. I'm gonna butcher some. Second one is Jin Lu. My third favorite is Yan Yu. 4th is Baby Monster An.
Oh.
Weird name. And 5th is Kiki. So those are my favorites. Y'all can let me know what you think. Join our server. We have a C music channel that's just popping off about youth by you at all youth with you at all points of the day and night. Second thing, Twice Sees the Light, which is the Twice documentary, came out. If you have YouTube Premium, you can see all the episodes. YouTube has this thing, 2 months free trial. I did that. So I watched the entire thing. I think it's 8 parts, which are about 15 to 20 minutes each.
Wow,
it's good, really good. They even, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but they go into Mina's hiatus too. Like they dive in and interview them about it.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
It's mostly based around the Twice Slights tour and what went on, and it also covers their past. My biggest take is that Jungyeon is really pretty. That was my.
I've been saying it since day one.
I'm telling you, watch this doc. Look at when they're interviewing her. I don't know if it's the lighting. It's probably just her face. So pretty.
She's the visual. I don't know what.
Last one, Road to Kingdom. Right. I'm not gonna. Anita hasn't watched any of it yet. Maybe next week we can start talking about it, and we'll warn you about spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil anything. So here's some of the stuff that came out. There's gonna be 4 rounds, right? There's 7 groups right now. Groups are going to be eliminated after rounds 2 and 3. So we're gonna drop 2 groups from the show, right? And then the group that places first place overall across all the rounds, and the group that places first during the finale are going to make it on regular Kingdom.
So 2.
2 groups. But if let's say the group that places first overall also gets first in the finale, then just 1.
Oh. Okay.
And then basically this episode they did a lot of like introductory stuff. They showed some funny clips where they made them call each other without knowing what other groups were coming. It was like it was a bit of filler stuff. The main thing was at the end each group had 90 seconds to perform.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who won. They had those teasers out a while ago, like 30-second clips of it.
Yeah.
Now they're the full 90 seconds. The groups that stood out to me, I'm not gonna say who won or not, but the groups I liked were the Boys, Golden Child, and Very Very. And apparently, this preliminary round doesn't count towards the overall score totals, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
All right, that's everything I've been doing. It's a lot more K-pop stuff than normal, but yo, Youth with You, watch that show. There's English subs. It is amazing. But what have you been doing, Warren?
Well, I have a couple things. It's May 4th today, guys. That means it's official Star Wars Day. And I know that's not K-pop related or anything. But you know, I'm a big Star Wars fan. Just wanted to shout out. You know, in the beginning, instead of my usual, "Hey, what's up, everybody?" I did like a subtle prequel memes reference. If anyone picked it out, please leave a comment or say something. Okay, so that's that. The Great Escape, season 3, came back last Sunday, after a 3-week-long hiatus because of the virus. It's still a strong season. You're still missing out if you're not watching it. Just putting that out there. There's English subs.
The first 6 episodes are subbed. I just
first 6 episodes. Honest to God, season 2 wasn't that great. Season 1 was like, wow. It's like that's what really got me hooked. So now that there's English subs, I might just go back and like watch with English subs because I like doing that for some god knows what reason.
It's and The Great Escape is pretty much Kang Ho-dong, who's a very famous entertainer, and it's him and his crew doing escape rooms. That's what it is. Yeah,
it's like sometimes it's an escape room, sometimes it's like a series of games, sometimes it's like a mystery thing. Sometimes it'll be very scary. But I don't enjoy scary, but I somehow enjoy this.
Bro, they were warning you if you're a child or you're pregnant, get out of the room. Like some of these episodes, they warn you like 3 times.
Okay, it gets a little annoying.
I was like, am I pregnant? Are they telling me to leave? Dude, they were warning you so much. Some of these episodes.
So that's good stuff. So that's most of the TV media I wanted to talk about. There's 2 musicians I want to talk about today. One is called Snail's House.
Snail's House,
aka Ujiko. I feel like I probably have mentioned. I thought I had mentioned him in the past, but maybe not. But he is my favorite EDM artist of like pretty much all time, and he is this kid from Japan. I say kid, he's my age. And he is really really good. At future bass, kawaii bass, lo-fi music. And he put out an album called UJ Beats, UJ Beats, Volume 1. And it's just like 7 tracks that are very lo-fi. And I've been in a very lo-fi mood recently. I've been making lo-fi K-pop remixes. I've been listening to a lot of lo-fi, and it's a good vibe. It's mood. When they write out mood with a space in between so that it's like spaced out and it's all in this weird font. Yeah, that's mood. Vibes. Have you heard of it, Douglas? A mood. Okay.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Sorry.
I think that's the first time I hear her just swear on the show.
I mean, you kind of led me into that one, sir.
Anyways, I know the name is really weird, but like it's a really really cutesy kind of like heartwarming kind of artist. Really, I'll mention it again sometime because I've been in a loop of listening to Snail's House, Ujiko a lot. But please check them out. Good stuff. The other music thing I wanted to mention is somebody Anita mentioned 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Called Yomta.
Oh God.
And like I was finally off of him, you know. I was finally in a period where I can live without Yomta's voice in my head. You know, I can be independent. You know, I've gone through my addiction and I've become, you know, no, that didn't happen. She sent me back into addiction, to the point where I have made like personal playlists, like 2 with like different Yomta vibes. One that's like super moody and vibey, and the other that's like super lit and like exciting. So it's, you know, I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna make a playlist of 10 Yomta songs, the best tracks of Yomta, period. And then put it into a playlist on Spotify. And I'm gonna put it on the K-pop channel on Wednesday morning, at like 10 a.m. because I don't wake up at 8 a.m. I'm sorry. That being said, I'm doing that because there's a good chance you've never heard of Yomta before. But I will say, man, what a guy. He's a good singer. And I think there's one thing that I have neglected to say, and it's the fact that besides like his like trashy, you know, joke kind of vibe, or like, you know, his like singing style, whatever, rap, whatever, that's fine too. He is a true example of a person who made it from the bottom. You know, he has a strong narrative throughout his albums. Because his the first album that he ever released begins with his father's funeral, and like people are coming to his father's funeral and they're like, you know, your father was a great man. You know, he had lots of great influences on us. So are you going to also be a great man? And honest to God, Yomta was not going anywhere in his life. He was just he had a period where he was like half a celebrity on TV. You know, there was like stories about he was like, yeah, he was a type where like he would hang out with like Kang Ho-dong twice, and he's like, then the next thing you know, he's like, yo, I'm best buddies with Kang Ho-dong, you know, like stuff like that. That's actually true, by the way. He did that, and it's like, you know, he was kind of a bum in the basement, and then he came to realize that he had not been living his life to the fullest and to the truest. Right. And he goes through this change, and you know, there are points where he's like flexing, you know, he's like, you know, look at my wrist, look at my ice on my neck. But at the same time, there are a lot of things where you can tell that he's changing, where you can tell that he's like still the bum in the basement that plays FIFA, that plays League. And then eventually he just evolves and gets to the point where he is now. And recently he dropped a single called Yumborghini. Wow. Which, you know, if you haven't caught on, that's a combination of Yumta and Lamborghini. Hence,
Are you really explaining that? Oh
yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, you know.
I feel like your IQ has lowered since you started listening to him.
Look, all I'm saying is that while he does have this outer meme like thing, you know, he did become popular because he was BTS, short for best t-shirt seller. That's his nickname. That I'm honest to God. That's
truth. True. I've heard of this.
Yeah, you go on his music videos, people will write, he is Korea's BTS best t-shirt seller. No, I hope I didn't offend any armies. Anyway,
you've offended a lot of fan bases this episode, sir.
Well, what are you gonna do? Yeah, but he's a great guy. He's a great man. It's always lovely to hear him, whether it be like a flex, you know, rap single, or like where he's talking about like the time he made a mistake with his ex, you know, in a very melodic way. So yeah, what have you been up to, Anita, in the world of K-pop?
Not much. As far as like straight up music, I was listening to NCT Dream's mini album. So they had a whole mini album released with Ridin, and they did a very similar thing as NCT 127, where they had like pre-track videos going along to the actual release of the title track. And one of them I really liked, and having listened now to the full song, I think it's my favorite off the album. It's called Love Again, and this song in particular has that kind of vibe that I wanted all of Neo Zone to have, which is like the 90s retro throwback sound. But yeah, it's really good. The first few seconds that you hear the beat, it reminded me a lot of Post Malone's Wow.
Oh yeah, it had that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you listen to it, there's that beat that's very similar, but in general the vibe is kind of different. It's more upbeat, kind of happy. The track video is really, really interesting. Like they're wearing jerseys, like very how should I say it? Like very youthful. I think they're like in a bus or something. It's very nice. More in line with NCT Dream's more the more youthful kind of bubblegummy thing they had going on, but in a very retro 90s sound.
Wait, I've listened to like 50 seconds of this while you're talking. This should have been the title.
Right.
This is great. Oh my god.
I love it. I really like it. I think it's my favorite. And then aside from
I'm
that,
left out of the loop right now because like.
Well, you should be listening to it. That's what you should be doing.
If I listen to it, it goes on the pod. So.
Oh.
Because that's how we record it.
Oh, well, you can listen to it later if you want. Another thing that is not necessarily K-pop, but I think has been becoming a meme in Korea is Animal Crossing New Haven and the music from the video game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are aware of the video game, you know that the characters in the game speak Animalese. I think that's what it's called. But there's also a feature in the game where they sing like little tunes in their video game language. And one of them that got kind of popular is KK House. So it's sung by this dog character with the guitar. But a lot of
I didn't know that song had an actual title name.
Yeah. But it's really cute, and the Animalese that this character sings has kind of like been how would you say, like romanized, transcribed to Korean syllables sounding words, and it's really cute. I heard a cover of it by the bassist of SeSonyeon. They were doing some sort of V-Live thing, and he covered it. And I didn't know at the time that it was from Animal Crossing, but it's really cute. It's really catchy. I think the guitar, the tune is pretty nice. But I think a lot of people are like doing covers of it. I think Cold, if you know who that is, did a cover of it. But yeah, it's really cute, but very nice. Yeah, Nabi Bobetao. That's the name.
Yeah, I didn't know the song had an actual name. KK House, really?
Yes.
Oh man.
Do either of you play Animal Crossing? Because I don't have a Switch.
Unfortunately, I do not.
I've been looking into purchasing it. It was sold out for a long time.
I know there's something with turnip prices or something that people have been going ham about.
Here's the thing. I was like, I got my tax returns. I was like, I'm either gonna buy a new phone or I'm gonna buy a Switch. And the Switch was sold out everywhere for a long time. And so I was like, all right, 2 weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I give up. I'm gonna buy the phone. I'm done waiting. And like 3 days after that, it's restocked on Best Buy. I'm like, wow, really? Really?
Oh.
Big rip. Does that cover everything you've been covering, Anita?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that about wraps it up this week.
It does.
I don't think we got anything else. Anita, if you watch some Road to Kingdom, let me know. We could talk about it next week.
Yeah, I'll be catching up.
This has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me today. Next week, we should be covering the IU, Suga, Borpagan, Baekhyun, Day 6 newest, probably, at a minimum. I'm assuming that's what we're going to be covering. But we see y'all next time. It's good to have Anita back. We'll see y'all then. Bye.
Bye. Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Gogu Mama, Jack, Jacob, Malfiar, NJ Parks,
pure K-pop sound. Snap Wilson. Tear. Thank you for joining SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods, Jacob, K-Music Erde, Malfiar, No Bias Luna, Tuggles, V, and Wolf297.